Hey, welcome to the Full Menu Podcast. I am your host, Donovan Gaspar, with my co-host, Otis James, aka Light Skin Leader.
Vladimir Jenko.
Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Kill the flow.
Coffee, because I need to wake up, man.
Just kill the flow.
It's okay. That's what you do. That's what light skin people do. They always want to come in and make it about themselves.
Make it about themselves. But most of the time, it is about us, ain't it?
Sure.
One of us is extra light.
I mean, back with and the old was it brown paper bag?
Paper bag. Yeah, look, and I don't know. It looks like I got a filter on because I'm not just light. All good.
Negro, you look transparent. That's okay. Hey, but listen, welcome back, man. Otis, what's going on with you, man? How are you feeling today?
Staying in the fight, man. Them invoices hit every. I can tell you when every invoice hits, staying in the fight.
I was gonna keep going. I got to keep going.
Life.
What anything to report? Anything you had good going on this week, man?
Yeah, man. That's a funny question.
Man, you talking about these fights? I just want to know, did you win? I mean, shit.
No, nothing good. Nothing good. I be trying to be optimistic, but no, nothing good. See, I'm an entrepreneur and a real estate investor. Entrepreneurship is bad thing happens, but not so bad. Good thing happens, makes all the bad things worth it. Bad things happen, and it's just a big cycle, man. We buy problems for a living too. So when you buy problems for a living,
Absolutely.
And I coach, 350 people, so I buy their problems too.
Yeah, you are a G, a lowercase G, but you're still a G.
I'm a bougie. I'm a cursive G.
But nobody knows how to write in cursive anymore, man. So that's the unfortunate thing for you.
Thanks to Gen X letting all our kids down.
Yeah, I mean, because calligraphy is not a thing anymore. We don't need to learn how to write in cursive. Handwriting class is no longer a thing. I remember taking calligraphy class in high school, man. It was weird, but I liked it. Had a little fancy pen.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Crenshaw, baby.
And out here in LA, or not out here, but out in California?
Yeah, man. Born and raised, man.
Oh, you did say you was from LA. So you went to they was banging
at you. Listen, I am conformed. Listen, I have gone through things. I have made it to a different level.
Yeah.
I've beaten those demons down to where now I don't have to act that way or be that way, but I still have it in me. I still got hood. I call it hood PTSD. Any room I walk into, I always got to walk into the back and got to look around and just to make sure that we good, because I want to be able to see what's going on.
You still be doing all this?
Nah, man. I just be like this. Do you Cash App? You got Cash App? Do you take Venmo or any other electronical cards?
I saw these fools on the corner. I thought they was pretending like they was folding clothes.
Hey man, it was so bad back in the day, bro. Any week if you were deaf, I couldn't hang around deaf people, man, because I couldn't let them. Because I'm like, bro, man, you gonna have to hum that shit, man, or something. You couldn't do anything else. Like, nobody throwing up them signs, man. You mess around and trigger the wrong person.
You are going,
man. That Christmas tree around here.
Heavenly Father, please forgive Donovan, for he knows not what he does.
Okay, I mean, he know my heart.
The angel of the pearly gate's gonna be deaf too. Watch.
You remember that joke? Hey, you come here, come on. You with the hat. Come here. Yeah. Well, Otis, come on, you coming with me now? Nope, come on, Otis, come on. We going together. We going together, man. We go together.
I'm gonna be up there snitching.
He did it first.
He did it all the time. He did it when y'all wasn't even looking.
Oh man. But listen, I want to get into this one, man. This one had me excited this week, man. When I sent this to you, I was like, bro, we got to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Today's topic is, what are men really looking for in a woman? And I think that this is going to be, it's going to be very along the lines of what we talk about and how we feel about certain things. But I really feel like it might be eye-opening to some women, surprisingly. I really think so. So I hope the sisters are out there listening, and the women are out there listening to us and kind of hearing what we got to say. Or again, this is not us saying this. This is basically some of the research we've done.
This is us. This is us.
All right. It's all of us. It's exactly what the hell I said. No, it's not like that. But this is I mean, if you don't know the podcast, if you haven't been here before, we are the Full Menu Podcast. We basically have conversations that most won't typically have on a normal Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, depending on where you are, morning or afternoon. On the West Coast, it's what, 10 o'clock? East Coast, here we are, 1 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk about some things, but also this is for a space for men to be able to have these types of conversations. Women, I want you to listen in, chime in when you feel like you want to or feel triggered. If you are triggered, I am sorry, but I'm not saying because these are things that you kind of want to you may want to listen into and maybe take some notes. So if you pick up some tidbits, definitely write them down. If not, then that's cool. Check us out next week. We might have something else for you to get pissed off about us. So it's all fun, but it's all education, right? We all want to be able to create that space to have these conversations and see if we can figure each other out. So hopefully you can. Here we go. So we kind of structure everything this way. We kind of break everything down into we are the Full Menu Podcast. So we break everything down in kind of like sections. So, right, we call it the appetizer. This is basically the appetizing section where we're going to talk about certain things, but it's going to be really bent or more focused around our topic, but in smaller portions, smaller doses. All right. So
is that Jada Fairley? Oh, what's up, Mississippi?
MISSISSPPI. Was it crooked letter? MI crooked letter?
So yeah. She cool people, man. She people. You got people you meet throughout your life, and you're like,
right,
that's a good person right there. So
I know you know some pretty cool people, man. I'm always have fun when we hang out, man, because we do meet some pretty cool people.
Yes.
So for the appetizer, this is the surface level. So wants versus deep needs, right? So these are the 5 traits men think they want in a woman. Again, men think they want a woman.
Yeah.
Number 1 is looks and physical attraction. Most men will say looks don't matter or looks matter, but it's not enough for long-term happiness. I will agree with that. Number 2, sexual chemistry. A lot of men put this on top, but it's hard to sustain in a real relationship. Number 3 is submissiveness and independence. This is the kind of like the eternal debate. Do men really want a leader, or do they want someone to be more of a nurturer, right? Number 4, social status, lifestyle, and compatibility. How important is a woman's career, ambition, or background?
What age were the men that took that survey? Were they
I mean, again, everything's changed for us, obviously, and we're in our 40s, and things have changed for what we said we wanted, right? For when we were in our teens, in our 20s, in our 30s, and now in our 40s, a lot of our wants or ideas of who we were sculpting our perfect woman kind of have changed because reality sets in. So number 5, the last one, is loyalty and exclusivity. The idea that men want a woman who's fully committed, but do all men offer the same in return? I had a problem reading that, obviously, because
yeah, that's all you could need.
I believe it. I believe it was Fat Albert. Yeah. So thoughts. What say you?
Yeah, that's it. They asked a bunch of 24-year-olds. Look, men. When you say men, you got to acknowledge one thing. There's men that you and I wouldn't even hang out with.
That's true. Absolutely.
So and there's good dudes and bad dudes, right? I think the closest analogy to the nature of the association between men and women from fans' perspective is the relationship we have with our cars. There's some cars that you would rent because they're fun, but you wouldn't buy it. Right? Yeah. At the same time, you don't want to be out there in no Camry. Yeah, it's practical. Very low maintenance. You know what I mean? So you want a hybrid, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Like maybe you want to do a Lexus or a Mercedes for your car, your home car, something reliable. Right. I like guy myself, but I'm not. But when I go out, I may want something. I'm gonna want to drive something fast and just leave it there, and then come back home and
just leave it there. Is crazy.
Take it back to the rental. Like that's the evolution from our 20s, 30s, 40s. In our 20s and 30s, well, I'll say Now in the 30s, because these young kids stay younger a lot longer. So 30s, in the early 30s is still young to me. But in our 20s, there wasn't a lot of people, a lot of, jumping on the internet and doing all this stuff, right? So we were out there making stuff happen and preoccupied with taking over the world and the possibility of becoming something great. And most of my parents, 2-parent households, they raised me, a particular way. I couldn't be out there running the streets like everybody else. I couldn't be out there doing anything stupid. So, for me to try to determine at that point the type of woman that I want, I only want certain things. I want to have a good time. I'm trying to have a good time. I'm not trying to settle down in my 20s, and possibly maybe 2 or 3 of them, right? Maybe 2 or 3 all playing there.
2 or 3 what?
Women.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
At 25, at 20, I'll say at 24, 25. You have 2 or 3, because your focus is not relationship. Your focus is living life to the best of your ability, right? So to gauge where a man is in his early 20s versus where he is in his 40s, if you're talking about the same man, those aren't even the same men. Like I'm a completely different person than I was in my 20s.
I agree. When
you group us all together like that, you really got to add some context, because what I want now is way, way different, right? Like they always ask that question. If you would go back and talk to your 22-year-old self, what would you say?
Listen.
He's not listening to me. I don't even like that dude.
People like old school. Go ahead, old school. Go ahead, old school.
Old head.
Old head. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. I don't want to know about that.
I wouldn't even hang out with me in my 20s, right? That's arrogant bastard.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. So do you think that, like number 1 is looks and attraction based off of that? Again, these are the 5 traits men think they want in a woman. So this is again, it's just scratching the surface, right?
Yeah.
So and we're going to go further in detail and further in depth on some of these topics. So
yeah, I think you got to be attracted to the person. That's how you get in the door.
That's how I see you, right? That's how I initially see you, right? I approach you.
I can't see you from 100 yards away and be like,
hey, look, she looked good from far, but she looked far from good. So that's what we're gonna.
So yeah, the superficial stuff is real. It's legit. All right, like I get that. It's not enough to sustain a relationship, but it can at least ignite the spark to get you in the door, right?
All right. And what about sexual chemistry? How important is
sex? The problem is people having sex too soon, right? They having long-term relationship activities, but the folks haven't met the qualifications of being in a long-term relationship. So I think the sexual chemistry. This is a tough one, man. So you have to define what sexual chemistry is. A lot of men don't understand.
So by what it says here, and it kind of breaks down. It says a lot of men put this on top at the top, but can sustain a real relationship? So I think it's really more along the lines of like, are we having sex, right? How many times is it good, kind of thing, right? More than anything, I think. So I think for a long time, for myself, right? There were things like when I was, again, you were talking about your 20s and your 20s, like we kind of associated love with me giving you Z dick, right? The good. And I'm looking like I'm talking about like Z dick, right? And that's a French term, by the way.
We're allowed to say that on our.
I'm not. What are you talking about? That's French. That's just. I'm yes. Z dick. So, and that's basically equivalent to like, okay, how she feels and how I'm making her feel. Is it making her, if I'm giving her what she needs in that moment, that's me basically contributing to our love, right?
You put that much thought into it when you was you put that much thought into it back in the day.
I mean, I'm reflecting. I'm saying like, I'm thinking like, man, yeah, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just okay. I'm gonna tear it up. Like, that was. You never thought about that?
Never said that.
Man, they see light skins. They selfish. So it was just like this. Go get me a towel. Is that how you were? Is like a getaway, or you just tossed it and just walked out of the room? Is that how you?
I've seen what's out there that these women are handling. These women are having 9-pound babies. I ain't doing that.
Oh, I already knew that. Yeah, I mean that was later. That was after I saw birth. I was like, dude, I said, I'm supposed to do what after that? Absolutely. I looked down like, that is not 9 pounds. That is not 8 pounds and 21 inches. There's no way. Absolutely nothing. I'm a blip on your radar, man.
Tic Tac well.
As one of my homegirls say, a hot dog down the hallway.
I think we're just very. I'm sorry. Let me let you finish your thought.
No, but I was saying, so sexual chemistry is like, it was considered important, right? It was a fact that, like, I think it was because you didn't have, even if you had like a place to go, right, in your teens or your 20s, it was just basically just like to meet up to do those things. Like that was considered being an adult or being in a relationship. That basically consummated the relationship.
Yes. First of all, we weren't even adults yet when we started.
Oh, absolutely not. No,
it's a major consideration, and we didn't have any money, any car.
I would catch buses to go get some, bro. What are you talking about?
We had to be home before it got late.
3 lights,
right? So you put all those factors in. If you was able to get some at that age, that was an achievement, and that was your girlfriend. Because
I had it going on. She liked me for me, right? She knew I had nothing, and she liked me. Yeah,
that's what it was. That's back when you had to talk to them, right? You
had to be on the phone, like, "Hey, you sleep?"
Yeah,
I'm not sleep. Okay, hey, I just want to let you know, I wrote you a letter. That's when you wrote letters, bro. When was the last time you wrote a letter to a girl, man? You know what I'm saying? You remember the game we used to play with the pick the color and the little that little thing. What was that, man?
I forgot what that was called, but if anybody knows how to do one of those, send me
one. I used to know how to do that. You could pick the color, you pick the number, and it was like, it'll tell you all kind of stuff.
It was gospel. It was gospel. The outcome, you was like, okay, that's it. I knew it.
That's it. Yeah, it was. That's it. That the paper told me that she the one. All right, bet. Let's go.
Yeah, I think the sexual chemistry, man, is just the issue was men that engage in those activities at a really young age don't know how to associate. They haven't learned about intimacy.
They don't know how to differentiate the difference between right the sexual, like an actual like expression of like love versus the act of sex.
Oh yeah, I knew. Yeah, I knew very well there wasn't no intimacy involved in what I was doing. Yeah, that was the downfall. Like I didn't equate. Like there was no confusion about it.
Now I just want to be clear. I was not confused. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, wasn't no. I think I don't know if I think I love her, but no, it wasn't none of that, because it was just a means to an end. Because we're really children, and children trying to process those things before because it's all destructive. It's all destructive, and the reason why we even have to have these conversations as adults is because we compromised our values and all of these things as children, and we were just built. There was no foundation to build off of. So when we get older, you're wondering why there's all these failed relationships, but we've never learned about intimacy or what that is, or we experienced intimacy outside of that. I know I did when I was coming up.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even love ourselves. So trying to love somebody else based on what we see on TV or what we think it should be is just that's a failed process, right?
Yeah, it's a failed attempt at trying to accomplish something. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so we never learned. We had to learn, and it's basically, you're hurting people and you're just but it's a destructive behavior that you carry on through adulthood. And when we get to adults and realize, oh, this isn't I'm better than this isn't the type of person that I want to be, I'm not getting the outcomes that I want in these relationships, then we go back and examine, okay, well, what's the issues? And 9 times out of 10 the issues with us because of how we came up. And for every woman out there that's out there cutting up, and there was a man that had something to do with that.
Oh, 100%. So my question to you is, at what age did you come to this fruition that you realize all these things?
I was 30. I was 30. Let me see, 20. I was 31. No, 30. I was 30. And I was at the point where I had about, and I wasn't where I am, obviously where I am now, but I had a nice car. I had about 5 houses, cool little condo, where I was, the city that I was living at. And I had everything that I wanted. I remember I was dating this young lady. This is and I don't remember her full name, but I was dating this young lady, and it got to the point that, man, we had put so much time and energy in our image. I was dating based on the identity that I created with what would look good with that guy. So I was hanging out with chicks that I wasn't really that into them, but I knew everybody else was into them. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and hang or whatever. So for me, that I got to the point where I was like, I got everything I want. I got some money. I got all of the material possessions. I got some of the baddest in my city, and I was freaking miserable. So I was
Mhm.
like, why am I so freaking miserable then? So I knew that I was approaching life wrong. And then, shortly after that, I had a spiritual experience that catapulted me into the person you see before you. So there's a major transition there. But it's just, yeah, man, it was just like the stuff we were doing, man. Like we couldn't even imagine. Like I have a 3-year-old, a 10-year-old, like a 20-year-old, a 26-year-old who's just turned 27, um, and a 30-year-old, a 32-year-old, right? Like they have the type of stuff that we were doing when we were kids.
Bro, that's a huge spectrum of like those are eras. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're how old is your youngest? How old is your youngest?
3.
3. Will your 3 and your 32-year-old ever like get along? Will they ever know each other?
Haven't met.
Huh?
They never met.
They've never met?
Yeah, because my 32-year-old is overseas. He's only 3, and she's been overseas and
Right.
being stationed. So
Okay.
yeah, my 20 and 27-year-old, they live with my ex-wife in North Carolina. And my 3-year-old lives in Dallas. He goes back and forth every month. My
Right.
32-year-old is serving her country. And then my 10-year-old stays here with me and his mom.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is an amazingly good woman, by the way.
The one you with now, correct?
Mhm.
Or yes, of course. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She deals with you. She's a special person.
She's helped change the way I see the world when it comes to like because of her, there's certain conversations I don't even participate in.
No,
She
and you know what? And I think that's what and this is probably going to be this is off topic, but this I think is probably a great discussion later on. Is like that like do you have to go through shit in your relationships, right? To like I won't say to solidify, but understanding that that you are going to go through things in relationships, good or bad. Like you're going to have those wonderful times, but you're going to have some down times, and those are the times typically when people are ready to jump ship and give up and throw their hands back and all other kind of things, right? And to me, it's really focused on what it is that you guys are determined to to build or have built, right? To me, that's the most important thing.
I think having swag on the team is the most important thing because
Having your what swag on what on 100.
your swag on 10.
Okay.
That helps, right? You can't be up in there.
Okay.
And you've got to be, remember we had this conversation last week. It's got to be if you work on yourself, the outcome will materialize.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
100%.
so if I I think one of the things that's, one of the attractive things about me is that I'm always trying to, this is based off feedback. I'm just
I was
trying
gonna say okay. I was gonna say so says who.
this is what I've heard, right? So I would never say this.
It's the word on the street. It's the word on the street, by the way.
I've always been complimented on my ability to create and just get it and go for it, and talk about professionally and
Mhm.
that area, right? So I stay true to that, but it still comes back to, okay, well, what if I'm at my maximum potential, then the outcome that I desire is quicker to materialize than if I'm just sitting on the couch every day, right?
Mhm.
See, some of these gentlemen, they have unrealistic expectations of the woman, just like women have unrealistic expectations. Men have unrealistic expectations too, because partly because of what the world has become, right? Like I don't even really go outside no more. I'm looking out the blinds like Malcolm X. Maybe I'll go out and get a package, if Amazon comes or something like that. But the dating pool, man, and what's magnified is just trash, garbage. Right? Like you hear me say all the time, where's all the good people at?
That part.
Right? There's good men and there's good women, but they just don't have. I guess they don't have podcasts.
That's. I mean, everybody can't do what we do, man. On the level in which we do it, sucks to be them. Wouldn't know how that works.
That
But
sounded arrogant as hell, didn't it? Everybody can't do it on the level we do it. It sucks
I'm
to
just saying, man.
Let's get
Call it like it is, man. Call it like it is. But no, so yeah, and we'll kind of finish this one up here. So the last three are going to be submissiveness or independentness, or independence. Like, what is that to me? How would you even the eternal debate? Do men want a leader or a nurturer?
First of all, if a man wants a leader, that's out of order.
That's out of order, right? I don't want somebody to lead me. I don't want a woman to lead me.
You gonna lead me?
I prefer a partner, like someone who's there and support, and like we can do things together. That's fine, but not lead me. No.
Okay, this is where it goes bad a lot of the time, and we talk about expectations and all of those things. If you're in a relationship and you have to verbalize what you want, the response that you want, then you messed up, because when you are in a relationship, your presence should command a certain response. If you got to articulate it, hey, I need you to do this and I need you to do that, you already lost, player. Sorry, not player. We started taking to the street. You already lost.
That's that Bay Talk, player.
Yeah. But it's the truth. It's like, okay, look, you're making all these demands, but how are you showing up? Right. The fellas that, like, the dudes that I respect the most, right, are the guys that, these are just regular guys that work a full-time job. They're home at 5, 6 o'clock. They're not necessarily, rich and all that, but they're committed to their family, and, they're making all the kids games. And in some cases, they even give the wife, the check, because, sometimes the wife will manage the finances and they just go out and get it, and they're consistent, and they're not out there cutting up. And that's a sacrifice. Some of these guys have sacrificed, their dreams to go ahead and, because sometimes we have families earlier than we planned, right? Yep. Some of these guys, I look up to those dudes, man. And they just don't get glorified a lot because they're not out here, doing, all this other stuff. But
that was me for 14 years, man. That shit was yeah.
Yeah, man, it's tough. Are you okay?
I'm better now. Yeah, I'm good. My kids are older now.
Did you have to be a grown up?
No, I was always a grown up. I was always been an adult, man. I always took care of myself.
I'm just kidding, man.
Why are you always, man? You don't
even have to dignify that with a response. I was always a grown up.
No. I was always a grown up. No, okay. So then, like, the number 4 was social status or lifestyle compatibility. How important is a woman's career? So let's just be real. I want to be very, very clear.
Yeah.
Men don't care what you do as far as your job is concerned. And to be honest with you, we really don't care what you do. So you're a doctor, you have multiple degrees, you do all that stuff. That's great. We're looking at that like, okay, great. She's smart. She has sense, right? Okay. But at the same time, does she have common sense, or can she does she know how to, like, be able to know when and when not to do it or use it, right? That's the biggest thing, because I've been in conversations and talked to women multiple times where it's like they continuously want to throw this doctorate around. I'm like, calm down. You got a doctorate in, like, cotton socks. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't care, like, about that. So
I think that I can respect, like, the achievements and things like that. I just don't
completely respect it. Respect it. So women, yes, I'm not down in anything that you do. Just saying that we really don't care.
There's no value in it for us, right? And it's off-putting when there's nothing wrong with being educated, but when you push that education on everybody else, right? You're like, I have a doctorate. So because you are educated, the fact that you deserve a certain outcome in a relationship, there should be no correlation there, right? You deserve a certain outcome because of the content of your character, not because of how long you went to school, right? So, and I've seen those conversations. I've not directed towards me, but I've been, just casually. We be out, you meet people out, a bunch of people, and you hear women talking. I got a degree in this, and all right, cool. How much you make? Because I still need 6 credits to graduate junior college, and what you make, I paid in taxes last year.
Right? Yeah. Facts. Yeah.
So what is okay, so you've got the education, but what are you doing with it, and why does
it have to matter to me in that sense? Like, what does it have to do with your value to me as my woman?
Yeah, because I'm gonna take if I'm at my maximum potential and we are together, I don't want you working anyway.
Mm,
So what are you gonna
that
do?
part, yeah.
Unless you want to, right? But I don't want to. That's just when you try to. That's superficial too, right? I could go back to school and read them same books you did to get that same piece of paper,
I
right?
mean, you can buy one on eBay. You can buy a couple on eBay if you want to.
I got Canva. I can open Canva. I'm sure they got
Canva,
a free
Canva,
too.
there you go. You can do.
But I do.
And we're not,
But I
we're
do
not putting your hard work and determination down. We love it. We
look.
appreciate it, but it's just not. It does not do anything for us when we are looking for our significant other, or we are like those. That's not even a part. Like, okay, is she like more of it? In fact, is she smart? Like, is she loyal? Like, those are more to us that make more of a difference to us than is like, okay, well, does she have a doctorate? Does she drive a Beamer? Does she have her own stuff? Is she independent? Does she pay? Like, to us, like, that's just normal stuff that you're supposed to do anyway. Like, if I'm not there and you're there, like, you have to live your life at some point in time, right? To be able to sustain a household, a career, pay your car note, pay your insurance, like that's just part of being an adult. I'm sorry, like I never knew that was part of being an independent woman. That's just part of being an adult. Like, so don't throw what you're supposed to do in my face. And it's the same way when it goes to a man. Like, well, I take care of my kids. That's what you're supposed to do, man. That's not, you're not doing anything that's more abnormal than what you're supposed to do. So don't expect to get a gold star for doing it. Great job, Dad. Way to be there for your child. Like, that's not it.
I don't know the dudes that actually say that. I hear that a lot, but I don't. I've never met any dude that's like, "Hey, man, what argument do you have to be in where your rebuttal is? I take care of my kids, like
all my kids taken care of."
You lost that argument.
Name them. That's what I'll be like. Name them. I had to do that to my dad one time. So my dad has seven children, and I remember. Listen, it was funny as hell because I remember when I was at a banquet and they were reading like his. They were about to call him up to the stage, right? And they're reading his intro, and I'm like, and he's like, yeah, he has 5 children. I said, that's wrong. Yes,
you better carry the one on that.
Like, you're missing one. I'm like, I know he's not claiming him because we don't even claim him. He don't claim on tax. So anyway, but yeah, so I was like, it's just little shit like that just drives me bananas when a man, and especially men who were born in the earlier years, before Facebook, payphones, pagers, all that stuff.
That's us.
No, man, we had. Well, damn, they're right. Pagers, no, we had pagers.
You'd have we used to look at
it was Etch a Sketch during the Etch a Sketch years, those. But no, like, that's, to me, it's like those are things you're supposed to do as an adult, right? Man taking care of the children, that's what we're supposed to do. A woman paying her bills because there's no one else there is what you're supposed to do. I'm sorry,
but
so you're not getting a trophy for that.
Actual adults believe just what you said. Like, I think the reason why that conversation even comes up is because you've got the bottom 10% of women and the bottom 10% of men arguing with each other all over the internet as if they are a representation of the rest of the group, which is not the case. So, there's certain conversations that we, like the whole, your character should be the driving force for your reasoning as to why you deserve better, because your character, not because of where you went to school, or not because of how much money you make, or not because of all these things. It should be your character. And there should also be some effort to improve your character on behalf of men and women. And I think once you start making that effort, then your standards start to go up. Right. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, it goes back to you being accountable for the person you are. And when you put time and energy into your personal development, you'll just automatically start feeling like you deserve better. And then your actions will follow that. Like, there's people that I come across where I'm like, that I've come across that.
Oh God.
There's people whose path that I've crossed in life where I was like, oh, that person, oh, she's bad, but no, I couldn't do it. Like, she's just too, I'm just immature, right? Because
this is random. This is random. Have you ever stopped talking to somebody who, like, just because they like they breath, man? Like, all right, I'm never mind. I'm gonna skip this. I don't want to talk about this.
No, because dudes are trash.
Like, I've literally stopped talking to somebody because I don't like their big toe. or or
Oh, you are just cruel.
something like that. It's just I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know. It's just me. I don't know. That's my choice. I can do what I want to. It's mine.
These dudes out there, don't have no. Some of these dudes will hit anything, man.
Yeah,
You even got to have both chromosomes.
she
Actually,
got that head, that slope head. It's like, yeah, it's something about it. I don't know.
they sneak out to 6 in the morning, like dude from Menace to Society, and just hoping not to be seen.
Oh, man. All right, and then the last one is let's see, what was it? Where were we at? We talked about socials. Okay, that's the career and ambition. Last one is loyalty and exclusivity. The idea that a man wants a woman who's fully committed, but do all men offer the same in return?
Not
So
all,
again,
all men don't offer the same in return.
oh, agreed. I don't think we do. And again, I think it's really a matter of timing, really a matter of where you are in your life. I think again, when we were younger, obviously not. And there are certain situations that I'm not excusing by no means, but we have done. Like I know I've done it. I have cheated before, and I know that it's definitely not the best, my best moments, but it has happened. So,
Yeah,
um,
jumping on that train.
yeah, you get off the train. But I mean, I don't want to talk. Listen, I'm not. Yeah, you're not. You stay your ass over there. We had somebody who somebody in the chat over here on IG mentioned say what if you don't have a lot to bring to a relationship, but a lot of love, and she was referring to financials, and that's the thing is like I don't think men really care.
Yeah, how she look? Because
Yeah,
make up for like if you're precious and you come to the relationship, you have redeeming qualities.
So it's gonna be this. It's like you can't be broke, ugly, and you don't and lazy, right? You can't be all three. That's just not gonna happen. Like you're not gonna get.
The trifecta is that?
Yeah, you cannot have the Holy Trinity with like against you, the anti-Holy Trinity against you, broke, ugly, and lazy. Like that's just not going to work. Like to us, it's like okay, the potential. It's always going to be about potential because of we don't know what you're going to do under certain situations. So it's always going to be the thought of what potentially it could be.
Well, so there's one side of me that's like everybody deserves to be loved.
Yeah, everybody deserves love. 100%. May not be my love, but somebody out there somewhere.
Yeah, but there's things that you can do to improve your appearance, right? Like even if you have no money, you can still exercise, you can still eat better. As a matter of fact, I ate the best when I didn't have no money because with no money for groceries, I was down at Fresh Choice, which was like the bargain brand of Whole Foods.
Right.
And, I go and get my little. They was like, "Oh, man, you in good shape." I was like, "No, I'm poor.
I'm broke. I can't even afford this. Matter of fact, can I borrow $1?
I am broke. Shoot. That's how I'm in good shape." But I think there's it's always going to circle back to if you want a particular outcome, then you have control over you reaching your maximum potential, right? Like there's certain people that's just going to be out of your league, right? And the thing is, you may have the character and all of the attractive qualities inside that a man wants, but it's like he never gets to see that because the attraction in passing, the attraction isn't there, and that's typically what gets the attention. So but I do think she said, hey, Angela Thomas said, let me put that comment up. She was just quoting you. She was quoting. That's true, man. I ain't like the community service of love. Like I'm
not listening. Just because somebody else gonna love somebody out there gonna love you. It's not me. I'm sorry. I can't do it. There's certain things I just can't get past. Like I'm that's just me. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with me having my boundaries and having my expectations. I feel like women have them. Women say what they want. A man should be able to say what he wants and not settle for less.
I just think what we want changes so often, and I think we got to get settled in. I think when we get close to 50, like I'm 40, I just turned 49 now.
I'm 46, so I'm close too. So shit.
Yeah, you start all that, and honestly, the way I see the world right now is everybody looks the same out there. Women look the same. And these young women, they start talking about how men, want to go and date young women. I don't want to do that. They talk too fast. They talk too fast, and they haven't seen the world yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you had a conversation with
it's not
too fast. And then they, and not all of them, right? There's exceptions to every rule, but most people are the rule and not the exception. It's slim pickings out there, man. Like my son, I feel bad for my son. He's 27 and his swag is on a million. He's got a good head on his shoulders.
Right.
But I'm like, look, bro, just focus on yourself. And people used to tell me that. They was like, the older gentlemen, they'd come in, hey man, just don't worry about these women right now. Just go and focus on yourself and your career and being
Right.
the best you can be. I was like, have you ever had sex before? Right? Once you do it once, you don't turn it off until you die.
What? I woke up like this. What are you talking about, man?
For myself, I'm gonna do it.
Wind blew. I was ready to go. Oh shit! What was that? Y'all felt that? Woo.
Yeah.
All right. So there we are. We're gonna go to the main course. We were on the appetizers for way too long, but it's okay. So this is the main course. Now this is the next section of what actually matters to a man in the long run, for the long run, right? So these are the top 5 qualities men look for in a long-term partner. Number 1, peace and emotional stability.
Come on.
Most men don't want, I would say all men don't want drama. Well, I'll definitely say most men don't want drama. A woman who brings peace is a game changer.
Yes.
Number 2, I would definitely say that. Number two, support and belief in his vision. A woman who pushes a man towards his best self. Number 3,
well, before you go to number 3,
and nurturing nature. The balance of strength. Go ahead.
Go through all of them, then we'll go over them.
Go through all of them. We're gonna come back to them. Yeah. Feminine energy and nurturing nature. The balance of strength and softness that many men crave. Number 4, we've heard this one twice now. Respect and appreciation. Feel valued for who he is, not what he provides. And number 5, loyalty and trustworthiness. A woman who stands by her man through wins and losses. Again, these are the top 5 qualities men look for in a long-term partner. And I would agree with every one of those.
What was number 2?
Number 2 was support and belief in his vision.
Yeah. So this is the thing about a long-term partnership. You also need somebody to bring you back to reality, right? Of course, we want a woman that supports our dreams and our visions. But if you're 40 years old and you're trying to be a rapper, that's probably, you need a woman that's going to be like, look, you that ship has sailed, right? I get it.
Like the cousins from the from 5 Heartbeats.
Yeah.
You sing songs in your 40s. We rappers in our 40s.
But women want security. That's what they want. They want security. So you can have
security though. What is security for a woman, you think?
Security is she wants to feel like she's going to have a roof over her head tomorrow.
Okay.
That's security, like financial security. And when you can provide that security and stability, then she feels safe enough to support you in your dreams.
I was going to say safety. I was going to say safe is definitely in there. It could be security. So the question is, so you think security equals safety as well, right? Or a little bit both?
I think both, right? Like she is a stable, predictable, as far as, the living and all of the things, quality of life, that stability, she feels safe. Then all of those things will start coming out of a woman. But what happens is when men don't provide that environment, that safe environment for a woman, then she's got to go into survival mode.
Right.
And now she's got to draw from her masculine energy to be in survival mode to make sure these things are taken care of. So you can't have it both ways. So until you can provide that, maybe relax on the expectations, right? Now, I understand if there's a hardship that both are experiencing and they both team up and they stay in that fight to get out of it, that's one thing. But that is not a constant way to live. And that can give a woman, anxiety and all types of other stuff. So yeah, I want you to support my dreams, but I also have to make sure that there's a safe, stable environment so you feel safe enough to do though. Because what if my dream is going to have us in bankruptcy court?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It can happen.
Yeah. So if I'm telling it gets so easy if you just be the dude that God called you to be, or you're the guy that is at his maximum potential. You got some emotional intelligence. You make it about you when it comes to fixing the environment, right? So you can't,
Take ownership and responsibility on that. Yeah.
right? There's too many dudes asking for outcomes that they don't deserve. And I'm just being objective because I was one of them dudes.
Yeah.
Now, I just didn't, back in going through my life, most of the time I didn't care. I didn't care what the outcome was because as soon as you left, somebody else was going
Right.
behind you, right? Which is very, very destructive and negatively impacted my quality of life as I got older. I didn't know that at the time, but you got to be realistic, man. We got to give folks a break. Right? Just try. If you're a dude, just try and let them see you trying. That's
Yeah.
how you get support. You don't get support sitting behind, freaking SoundScan website uploading your demo and the rent ain't been paid and you using her car. Come on, man.
Baby boy. Come on now, baby boy.
Come on. If you got to use your woman's car, bro, you're not in this conversation. We're not talking to you. You are not. I understand hardship. Hardship should be a pass through. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't have your mail forward in
Yeah.
there. You should just
It's
be
a season. That's something that you go through to get to where you need to go. It's inevitable. Like we all go through hardships. We all go through situations where, they're there, but again, they are not there to break us. They're there to make us. They're there to, refine us to get through to get through those situations. No, I completely agree. I think safety is huge. Creating a safe space, right? Allowing a woman to show up to be who she needs to be for you. So yes, completely agree. We are responsible for the environment that we create. If she's not showing up as the person, as far as like these characteristics in the individual, then that's potentially could be and if it's your responsibility as a man to kind of create that space. And if you create that space and she's still not showing up for you in that way, then that's when you truly have to make that decision, is just say, you know what, you're perfect, whole, and complete. I'm just not the one for you. And I think you just need to let that stuff go sometimes. So
is that what you put on your letter that you write them?
absolutely, yeah, that is definitely my go-to
Perfect.
or a lot. You're perfect, whole, and complete. I'm not going to make anybody wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna say, you know what, this just doesn't work for me. Period. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Darlene says, I agree with all those elements, but it seems like that's not enough because some men still find their way cheating. Why? Is one woman just not enough?
Mm.
That was one I was trying to stay away from. So look, look. It's first of all, both genders cheat. Let's just acknowledge that. And according to women, they do it more than
we do. Yeah.
Cheat on me. I'm a crack your mother forehead open. No,
White meat.
I think that I can only speak for myself. And the times that I did experience that, it had nothing to do with the woman that I was with. It was, in some cases it was a trauma response. In some cases it was, alcohol and drugs that played a part for some, but there's a lot of different reasons. There is no one reason, right? Every man is different and every man responds differently to, adversity. And sometimes it comes out as infidelity or you're cheating or all that. But I will say this though, you also got to take into consideration what stage that a man is in his life, because there's certain things that I wouldn't even dream of doing now. That was just a normal Tuesday for me in my 20s.
Yeah.
So you gotta, there is no answer to that, right?
Yeah.
Like, is one woman enough? Man, it's funny that you asked that because 5 years ago, I probably would have said physically, no. But now I'm like, yeah. That's a tough one, man. And but I'm able to speak on it because I've been through all of the different levels, all the different stages, and I feel like I, I I feel like back when I was so 100% convinced that one woman was not enough. Like I was so convinced that like I had a supporting argument to be able to justify that. Biologically, no, one woman is not enough. But emotionally and overall, I think one woman is enough. But it's got to be the right woman too, right? Like I like hanging out with her. So if like me and the fellas was getting ready to go to Sacramento, I was like, you want to roll with us? So if you don't have somebody that you don't like hanging out with, then you may look for things elsewhere. But a lot of and let's ask this question. Let's ask this question. Is we're referring to good men that are genuinely trying to be, good dudes when they cheat. Because when bad dudes, when schmucks do it, that's just who they are. It's a character flaw, right? But when good dudes that don't want to do it, right? Like they feel guilty about it and all those other things. Like, why do they do it? Because that's when you really get a sense of, you know, the fight between a man's character or who he knows he
And
should
what he did.
and did or who he believes he.
Right.
There was a point where I was like, well, this is just who I am. I'm just made this way. And I know
Mhm.
dudes that still think that. Look, I try over and over again. I don't love these women out here. I'm just made this way. And I think that's a story that we tell ourselves because the alternative is being confronted with something that we think we can't be. Right. So we tell ourselves that story. So you really have to evaluate it on a case by case basis. What's this man's story? What's this man's situation? Because men can only speak on themselves. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't, I don't, I know, I know men right now in relationships that do not cheat. A lot of these same men 10 years ago were not capable of being in a committed relationship
Right.
by their standards, right? So it's always going to be a case by case, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't think there is like there's not a right answer to this, right? I would say this. This is the one thing that I will say to women is that don't think that because he cheated had anything to do with you.
right. I think that's
That,
the
that is the biggest thing that I think that women need to understand. Because he cheated or because he did what he did does not mean anything about you. Sometimes men are in perfect relationships and will still do that thing just because it becomes more of a physical thing than anything in that moment. And I think it's just a moment. And because they cheat, and I don't believe that once a cheater, always a cheater type of thing. I think that it does take it is a mistake. It is something that happens. It's something that that men and women will at some point, even you have a choice to make, right? We always have a choice in the relationships that we're in to stay in those situations. So it would be one of those things where if you feel as though if he or she is truly apologetic and truly sorry for what they did, then you have that opportunity to kind of move past it. But if not, that's entirely up to you. That is entirely up to you. Some people, cheating is like a deal breaker for everything. For me, it's not a deal breaker. It's something that I definitely don't want to happen to me, or I don't want to do it. Um, but like I said, I don't think it's something that it would you burn the whole house down, because sometimes it's just as a physical thing, and it's not. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to remember we're still mammals, and mammals, this is what we do. It's an act, and it's not something that, again, not something I condone, not something I'm telling people to go out and do, but I'm just saying that it does happen, and also it has nothing to do. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with the other partner.
So I would say, I don't know, I think a little bit differently, man. I don't think it's a mistake. I think, we know what we're doing, right?
Well, again, to me, it's the type of, right. I've been in situations where I walked in and I would ask in a situation where I asked the man, "Hey, did she tell you about me?" He said no, and I said, "Okay, so I can't be mad at him. My beef is with her."
Oh, I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever.
situation I've had it. And so I guess I'm okay with it. I have no problem. I'm an open book, man. I don't give a damn. I'll tell you about anything.
I,
What has been done to me.
well, I just don't. Back in the day, I just didn't care. I just assumed that she was cheating. So
But was that your reason to do that, to cheat? Was that
I wasn't with one woman ever. With back in those days, it was probably three or four. So I've had situations where I found out that she, a woman I was seeing was with somebody else that I actually knew from around.
Mm, mm.
Um, but when I had a conversation with dude, I was like, "Hey, man, just don't say nothing. We just leave it alone. Just don't say nothing. You'll mess it up because you're not gonna be
You
because
gotta mess my game up, right? Yeah, I'm going to Patrice's house later on. What are you talking about, man?
yeah, because we're young and we're stupid and we're destructive. And my focus was not on relationships back then. My focus was on how much money can I make to stun on these folks. That's where I was, right? Like I had an identity that I created that probably would have drove me to hell had I not have been corrected, years later. But it's not. Look, it is possible to be with somebody and just have the relationship's so cool that you don't think of going outside of it because and trust me, look, I can't, I'm the last person that I ever thought would be saying this. But you don't have to go outside of it, and it's just cool, and you get your peace because you can communicate. So if I was in a situation right now, if I came home tomorrow, right, and she told me, "Hey, I cheated," blah blah blah. Anger wouldn't be my first emotion. I would be like, all right, well, why? What is it? What is it that you were looking for? And then, I would have an honest conversation about that because you have to ask yourself, do you love the person enough to look at the actual issue, or do you not love them enough and you make it about you, right?
Right. And I
So
think that's what happens a lot. They make it the other person makes it about them because if their act had something to do with them, the other person.
yeah,
And sometimes it doesn't.
honest conversation is the cure for a
Mhm.
lot of stuff, man. And then when you get to that level with somebody, and I'm not a relationship expert, but I've lived through, 50 years of doing it
You're
wrong.
a relationship expert. You don't advertise it. That's all.
There you go.
There you
Um,
go.
I
Because we all are relationship experts. We don't internalize, and you and I have more internalized than a lot do that are watching them. So I really appreciate them doing that.
yeah. But if you're a dude that is cheating and doesn't want to cheat, that's where those are the guys I feel bad for because it's a I know some dudes that are sex addicts and all of these different things that and men we got to internalize everything. So unfortunately, cheating is one of the outlets, just like alcohol is one of the outlets, or
Mm.
smoke is one of the outlets, or anything else that's
Drugs,
just
yeah, other drugs or anything like that. Yeah.
right. And when a man acts out because he's keeping all this stuff in and he doesn't have feel safe enough to be able to have these conversations because he's got to hold this whole thing together, then
Mhm.
sometimes that's how it shows up. And it has nothing to do with his woman. Many times it doesn't. Sometimes it does have something to do with the woman.
Yeah.
So there's men in relationships that the woman maybe won't sleep with them in their relationship.
Mm.
I've never experienced that. I'm sleeping with somebody.
Right.
Oh,
Somebody is getting zidik.
you
Yes, that.
you you get the first right of refusal, but I'm not. Some men, that's their reality. What are they
Yeah.
supposed to do, right?
No, first of all, I'm not sleeping on no couch. I'm not. We're not doing. I'm never doing that ever. So
On the couch. There
I
was a
will burn the whole house down, as as Angela said. So Angela said this, and she was very sincere. So I appreciate you sharing. She said, "Yeah, I burned the whole house down when he cheated, but in hindsight, I should have. I shouldn't have because I realized he truly loved me.
Is that why you shouldn't have Angela?
Because he truly loved you, or because that
Maybe
you
you shouldn't
actually didn't have you didn't have insurance to cover the fire."
I shouldn't have did it because you love me. That's not why you shouldn't have did it, Angela. And if that's the reason, then you need to talk to somebody with a couch in their office. Shout out to Angela. I said, is she in a picture with a guy right there? Okay, hey, stay in that relationship because I got a lot of houses with a lot of wood.
Right. That's funny. But no, like this is so it's funny. So the key thing here was like hold on, she's laughing at us. Okay. And it was so this is crazy because again in this little segment that we're talking about, it talked about men have your priorities changed. It asks have your priorities changed as you've gotten older. What mattered in your 25 when you're 25 versus what happened when you're 35, and that's basically what we've touched on. So yeah,
Priorities.
anything else you want to talk about on this one?
Yeah, man. Priorities change a lot when you get older. What we do for fun changes a lot. Like I don't go to clubs.
Yeah.
So what are we, so when we all get together, it's typically probably like couples or something, or I'll go down to it's I'm telling you, man, that peace and quiet. We used to think that was just we're getting a lot older, a lot younger than our parents did. Right. Like 40, if you're in your late 40s right now, that's
This
the equivalent of being in your 60s 40 years ago. Right.
Oh man, it's funny you say that. Yeah, I
We don't
agree.
want too much activity, man. We don't want too much
We've
no.
been through so much, man. Like legitimately, our era has been through so much when it comes to relationships and accessibility. I think that's the biggest thing too. Is like we have access to so many different things. So it's just like we have more trial and error. We have more data to back up our ideas and how we feel, right? Because like, yeah, I'm not doing that because that is exactly, I've dealt with that shit before. I'm not doing it. Nope. Hell no. Or I seen, you know what? Otis dealt with some shit like that. Hell no, I'm not doing that. I remember what he went through. You know what I mean? So it's just like you just have way more data, I think, now than you did before.
Bro, it's like it is, you just realize you take a look back. I think every man gets to a point where they look back and they're like, I was so freaking stupid. Like I did, like the level of stupidity that was socially acceptable
Mm,
at the time gives you some insight into why this world is declining, man. Like and the unfortunate part is I was fortunate enough to get to the end and have everything I want and realize I'm still miserable. So it got me looking in a different direction. Some dudes never get to that point. Some guys, and this is who it's really hard for. This is I can't relate to guys in this situation, but I can understand it. So I was always a cool dude in school, right? I was never, I was always a cool dude. But there's some guys that weren't, and then they didn't get the response from women when they were in their like teens and 20s, and maybe in their 30s they got to do a little better, make a little money, maybe they started working out or whatever it is, and now they're trying to make up for all that. Whereas there was some of us that had that all through our young years, and now we're like we're just not impressed by that anymore. So I think those are two different men in two completely different scenarios, so you can have two different outcomes.
mhm.
I've been there, done that, seen it already. So what I do for a good time is going to be different than what I used to do for a good time back in the day.
Right.
But what brings
Yeah,
me,
I remember, good times used to be getting really, really lit, right? Really drunk and having fun, hang out. That is not what I want to do when I go out now. That is not what I want to do when I go out. I'll have a drink or two, but I'm not
bro,
getting,
that
yeah.
is the type of debauchery that was going on
The type of fuckery we used to do.
that was going on when I was in my late 20s. It was, and honestly, we can laugh and joke about it now, but that was a very dark place, man. That was a very
Yeah,
dark place to be in. And man, God is good, man, because
yeah.
I'm not gonna get
He'll,
into it.
he'll guide us through. He's definitely helped us through those situations.
God
Like,
will sit your ass down somewhere so you can hear him. And he sat
right.
my
Boy,
ass.
if you don't get down from that chandelier, it's
He sat me down. Just okay. So he's gonna say,
what you need me to do. You want me to? Oh, okay. All right.
I tell you, man. I
All
tell
right.
you.
Okay. I will. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just so much less stress. And oh man, sorry to hear that, Angela.
Yeah, my condolences to you. Definitely. It's crazy, like the things that we learn after something has happened, right? I think that we always, in hindsight, when hindsight is 2020, over after situation. I think that's, I'm real big on, God doesn't make mistakes, and I'm not saying that, definitely doesn't hurt, but I think there is a lesson that you've learned, there's a lesson, a blessing, or a testing that you're going to get from those situations. Any situation that happens, I think good, bad, or indifferent. Um, it's there for you for a reason, and I'm glad that you were able to see the error, what happened. But I really hope that you're healing, you're going through what you're going through, and you're on the better side of that.
Did he die in a fire?
Motherfucker, I swear to God.
Not Angela, because Angela already talked about she running through the hood, burning houses down.
She did say she burned the house down. Was he? We're just asking if he was actually in the house when you burned it down.
It's hard to get good sleep when your spouse is burning houses down. You just
Yeah, it's real hard. That's tough. That's tough love, and that's something I really don't know if I want.
Angela, you gonna remember?
Yeah, you got jokes.
I just played
It's
it.
all love. It's all love, Angela. It's all love. It's all love.
Yeah, don't come to my house.
Yeah, you are not invited to the barbecue.
You got my house is made of concrete. Build a house.
Nothing in here that's flammable. We're good. So listen, we are now at the. He had heart issues. Oh, you broke his heart. Is what.
Bless it.
All
Amen.
right. Amen. So listen, so this is the side. So this is another short discussion. This is basically what's the disconnection between men and women in dating. These are the top 5 misconceptions. What men want versus what women think men want. Number 1, men don't care about a woman's career as much as they think. This is one of the things we talked about earlier. Success is attractive, but it's not the number 1 factor. Number 2, men want peace more than perfection. A woman who makes who makes life easier, not harder. Number 3, not all men want a boss chick. Some want a teammate. The balance between ambition and partnership. Number 4, men value respect more than love. Feeling respected is the key to a man's emotional security.
That's true.
Number 5, just because she's good on paper doesn't mean she's good match for you. Compatibility versus credibility.
Look, can we just tell the truth? Was there only 5? Was there just 5?
I've only do 5, man. If we could literally go, we can go to 20 probably on this list here.
No, that's good. That's good. But so you
I think this is a good summary of the 5.
When I was 21 years old when I met my ex-wife. I was stationed in the Navy in Bremerton. This is in the 90s, Bremerton, Washington. And I met her in a drive-through at Burger King. She was working there. She used to give me extra orange juice.
She gives it what? So you used to go get the croissant sandwich?
Yeah, with
the orange juice.
Oh, she throw extra orange juice in the bag.
Yeah, she throw some extra little hush puppy, not the hush puppy, little hash browns in there too.
Tater tots, yeah,
little tater tots. Cause okay.
So look, if you bad enough, you could be working anywhere. Men don't care. It's like you ain't gonna be taking care of us with that money you're making for work,
right?
But there's also class has nothing to do with how educated you are. Neither does intelligence, right? Mm-hmm. Education. Let's look at it this way: if our brain was a computer, education is our hard drive, intelligence is our processor. Some of the most brilliant people I know don't have a formal education, but their intelligence is off the freaking charts, right? So, there's got to be. We remember, Donovan, we talked about rating people but on an average, right? So we would put like a spreadsheet. We'll have 10 categories. There'd be, character and how they deal with conflict and body and face looks and all of these things. Women would be really high in some areas and really low in other areas. So the average would be lower, right? Same thing. So the things that are important to most men is one is respect is above everything, right? Everything. Now, there's always 2 sides to that coin. Have you showed up as a man who's worthy of respect? You got to earn that, right? Amen. You got to earn that. And when it's lost, it's really hard to get it back. And if you have to articulate it, you need to respect me. I'm not. Those words will never come out of my mouth.
No.
Yeah, your presence should command a certain respect, not just from your significant other, but from the whole world. And that goes back to you putting the work in to reach your maximum potential. So
I do have a question on that one though. So I know that because we're talking about presence, your presence should be enough to acknowledge those things. But what about if it's not? What about if that's just who this individual is? Is they're questioning, certain things? Because I will say that it's not always them. I mean, please do not put that up there. Do not. I refuse to acknowledge that comment. Sorry, Michelle. Yeah, so you always want to fuck with me, I swear. So for me, it's like, but what if there are in those situations where regardless of what you say that you, as a man, your presence should be a part of it. But what if the woman just does not cooperate in that sense?
Separate yourself.
I agree. Yeah, so I agree. I'm with you. That's the answer I was looking for. So
yeah. I walk in. If I walk into a room and no one knows who I am, they don't know what I've done or how I built myself, or they don't know any of that. So it's up to us to be like. Remember, we talk about reaching your maximum potential. Once you start working on your personal development, your self-portrait changes. How you see yourself changes, and then when you see yourself differently, then guess what? You walk in a situation, you're like, I'm better than this. Let me get up out of here. All right. Or what am I doing in engaging in a conversation like this? Let me get up out of here. Yeah. And so you become more to yourself and gravitate towards people that are more on your level, like not just intellectually, but all around, right? So yeah, but you there's just certain like, come on now, like there's certain things that get thrown at me that I don't even dignify with a response.
I'm with you, and so man. So again, I do have the ability to, like, when I'm in a situation, it's not running from a situation. It's just acknowledging that it's not going to get any further from this situation, like this particular one here. Sweetheart, that was years ago.
This was Carmen. Oh, was that from the show?
Yeah. Right. You talk about the show. I'm talking about like life stuff right now. We like listen. Me and Carmen are cool, but that was years ago, man. Like there's nothing to acknowledge there. Not for me. Like to me the only people that matter is her and I in that situation, and it's already been taken care of. So
that show
I won't even acknowledge it. In that situation,
I'd have been on that show running amok.
What's that?
I'd have been running amok on that show. And none of them women would have been able to make eye contact.
I'm not gonna lie. I think production wanted me to do a lot of things that I just was not willing to do, and that's just not my personality. I think they really wanted me to go in and like tear up shit, and I just was not. That's not me. That's not who I show up as when it comes to shit like that. So,
I hear you.
Yeah. So the key question basically in this area is just basically women. What do you think men want, and what are we wrong about what we actually want as men? So I guess that's the question.
How did they not know? Like men aren't the most sophisticated.
We're not complicated at all.
Yeah. Like
we're not like they're legitimately. You don't even need instructions for us. Like you just like kind of what you see is what you get when it's certain things. Like there's no like we're not hard to read. We're not hard. Like we're pretty. The thing I think that there are just this right. When a man is in front of you as a woman, when you're looking at him and you're saying, you know what he has, sometimes they fall in love with what the woman wants from him, right? Because they think they can get it based off of whatever checklist that they got going on, right? Of like, oh man, he's someone that's going to be this, and this, and he's going to bring me flowers every day. He's going to do it's like these extra things that really don't even have anything to do with the individual who's in front of them. And I feel like they love the idea of certain men and not the man that is actually in front of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think women have been socialized to expect a certain type of story when it comes to a man. And I think our generation failed the next generation. I really do, because we were raised by baby boomers. I was raised by baby boomers, and 2-parent household. I saw my mom and dad come home from work every single day, right? My parents been together like over 50 years, I think, or something like that. And was it all perfect? Absolutely not. That's just not how life is, right? But the expectations change as you change. Me at 25 years old had different expectations than me at 35 years old. At 25 years old, all you had to do was be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I got everything else. Like there's nothing else you can do for me outside of that. I have everything else.
She looked like Janet Jackson. She got the car looking like Freddie Jackson, right?
That's all you had to be, though, because I was young and I wasn't even equipped. I could have all the expectations that I want at 25 years old, but I wasn't even worthy of those things, right? Like that wouldn't have been reciprocated. I wasn't, and I'm glad that, unfortunately, going through all that mess, you hurt a lot of people in retrospect. You don't even like the person you were back then. So the expectations aren't going to change, as you change. It's just not realistic. My self-portrait, how I see myself, is a direct reflection of the reality that I created.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah, maybe back then I saw myself differently. Now I see myself way different than I did back then. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like, what things. All right, I don't want to go over here, but there's certain you get to a certain point and you have to evaluate how'd you get there, like what things contributed to your happiness and what things took away from it. I examine what things stole my happiness and joy. Alcohol. Was I an alcoholic? Absolutely not. But alcohol, recreational drugs. I'm not talking about crack or cocaine or anything like, weed and Molly and those things.
Meth was definitely your drug of choice. I can tell.
I didn't even know how to order it, how to get it. Like,
hey man, where I get some meth?
How do you ask for that? Right? I just wouldn't know.
Hey man, I get some crack cocaine? Can I get some crack cocaine from somewhere? Hey, man, where I get that? Yeah, I don't even know where. I wouldn't know where to go myself, man. I don't know. Do I ask my pharmacist for these things? Can I get a prescription?
Methamphetamines? Yeah, probably. No, but you have to.
Excuse me, Mr. Drug Dealer. Mr. Drug Dealer, Yes.
But we got to take inventory of all these things, and then when we get to a certain point, we're like, "Dang, I was stupid. I shouldn't have messed with that. I shouldn't have messed with this. I shouldn't have been around these people. I shouldn't have been around that people." But some people are just a lot of men are trying to fill a void that cannot be filled by the opposite sex, and that void, the cause of that void, could be a number of things. And
Yeah.
for me, it was shit. I don't even remember, man. It seems like a lifetime ago, but for me, it was just there was always bad things happening, and for me, it was just a distraction from the bad things. Like
Mm.
in 2008, when that real estate debacle hit, I lost everything. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know, drinking and doing, all of these
Especially
things.
in California, like that's where it hit first, man. I was there. I was in Corona at the time. And I remember we lost our house. But like our shit went from we bought the house at 635. It was valued at 300 by the time we even got to even considering selling a damn thing.
Oh well, at least you could have sold it.
We couldn't sell it. It was valued at the mortgage was was on 635. The value was 320.
You wanted to sell it but couldn't.
I couldn't even sell the damn thing. I was trying to give it away. I'm like, hey man, y'all want these keys? Excuse me, sir. Sir, over there with the can in your hand. Would you like to purchase this house?
Yeah, man. That's how we deal with that's a trauma response. How we get down when we're single, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
But dudes, man, you gotta if you out there cutting up and you just cutting up to be cutting up, you're just not ready yet to have the conversation. But there's a point in your life where you're going, and this is why I tell these young brothers, like, look, man, don't be so emotionally charged, and don't just understand that you got to answer to somebody 20 years from now. And that's the you from 20 years from now. And that guy 20 years from now has got to pay for all of the stuff
that you did when you were 20 years younger. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's and we got to extend ourselves some grace too, right? Now, I know a lot of fellows that are just doing the best they can, and bad things happen, and it is what it is. But it all goes, if you want to improve your quality of life, improve yourself.
That's right.
Stop expectations of other people, improve yourself, and the rest will fall into place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people just come. This is what I expect from women. This is what I expect from men. This is what I expect from. But what about you? And once you wrap your mind around that, life will get a lot easier for you.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely
unless you
one of the things that you and I we have in common is that we definitely don't look external to things that happen to us. It more is that the internal aspect of it is understanding, what it was my responsibility. It was something that I did or something that I need to take care of. Or if I want things to change, I have to change it. I can't expect other people to change. And I think that that's the issue that is the thing that we have is like you're waiting. I feel like women are waiting for someone to save them, right? I feel it's like it's a damsel in distress type of thing. So, and I'm not saying all women, but it is like when you want a man who is already fixed and already the man who he's supposed to be, but yet you're not even the woman you're supposed to be, and that's okay because we're not all finished products. My finished product is it will never be finished because I'm going to continuously trying to improve myself. In some aspect of my life, I'm always going to be trying. I'm definitely a man of personal development and always over developing myself into being a better person. And if it be in business, if it be in, emotionally, if it be financially, if it be spiritually, anything, even with relationships to my children, as they grow older, I'm going to try to improve those relationships. Then I'll have to work on creating and better relationships with my grandchildren in years to come. So again, it's like you're always going to be a constant. You're not a finished product. And I think you have to come from an idea of understanding that, the person that I'm actually having a conversation is not finished. That's not who they are. But I would like to see if they have all the components that I would want in my partner to help me get to that next level of what I want to be individually. But I need to make sure I'm working on me over here and hope that they work over them. I don't have to hope. I anticipate that they're working on them over there, but I can't expect them to change me and I can't expect to change them. And once you come from that, there is so much more peace. And that is the peace, because typically when we are having these conversations, it's always about, I need you to do this for me. Why can't you be this for me? Why can't you do these things for me?
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, that's the part where that's where we disconnect. It's like, I think I've been doing these things for you. I've been I've been creating this space for you, but it's like here we are, we're just going back and forth. And I don't think that that's a healthy environment. Again, if you come from a situation of, I'm going to make sure I hear what you're saying. I will figure it out, and I will go off and try to fix it myself. But you can't come at me as though I need to fix me. And when I'm looking at you, like, you need to fix you too, but I can't fix you. You got to fix you. So I'm just going to back off.
Okay, so I will say this, and one thing, and the older we get, the more wisdom we accumulate. One of the things that shifted my perspective was realizing that a lot of women out there are not who men expect them to be because they're in survival mode. Some women have kids, and the man can just bail out and go bounce. That woman is stuck with kids. So when a woman is in survival mode and trying to survive and raise the kids and do all the things that they're supposed to do, they can't just rest in their feminine energy as men would like them to. And I think that's one of the things that we didn't give enough consideration to during some of these discussions, including myself. That's one thing I never really understood. But a man does have the power to change the environment if you love the person enough to make it about you as a whole, the couple as a whole, as opposed to just you. So when you love someone and you see that they're a little off, their energy is a little off, you want to go talk to them, right? Hey, babe, what's going on, right? You want to contribute more when you're with the right person, right? You're more preoccupied with their experience in the relationship than your own, right? There's times where, I work from home a lot, right? So, and she'll go to work and I'll have a couple hours. I'll say, let me go ahead and let me go clean the house, and let me clean the kitchen, and let me clean these bathrooms so she don't have to come home, and she wants to work, right? So let me do that, right? So she could, I'm offering consideration to her. And I think the more we offer consideration to the other person, the healthier the relationship becomes. And I didn't have that. I didn't realize that for a very, very long time. Right. And if you're in a situation where you guys are going back and forth, there shouldn't be a back and forth. That's a lack of communication.
Yeah.
That's a lack of communication. So,
it's a breakdown in communication, right? There's something that's awry in the communication. And sometimes it can be, I'm big on, say what you mean what you say. And then also, like, don't ask me questions that you want a specific answer.
You still ain't figured that one out. Huh?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, tell me what you want me to say. Right. Don't ask me this question and I'll tell you the answer. You're gonna get mad at me. Nope, that's just not. No, I don't. Tell me what you want me to say, please.
I'll say, fellas specifically, don't ask your girl questions you don't want the answers to.
No, absolutely not.
Just leave that out.
Yeah. All right. So that's that particular area, and it says. All right. So let's go to the dessert aspect of this. Here we are at the dessert. We got one more segment after this, and this one specifically is really how to find and keep the right woman, right? Choosing the right woman is just as important as becoming the right man. So again, it all goes back to you, the individual. It has nothing to do with the other person, right? Yes, because you still have to take responsibility on the fact that you are choosing this person.
Yeah.
But what's that?
I don't think it's impossible to choose the right person because you don't know who you're choosing.
Correct. But it's still that's empowering that's being empowered in the choice that you make. To me, it's like, I chose this person and I'm okay with that. And so I'm really big on wanting to, I want to be wanted, not needed in a relationship.
Okay.
Right. When I say that, I say because I want to be wanted, because wanted to me is a choice. Right. Needed is kind of like out of necessity. That's needed because, and I feel once a need is met, I'm disposable at that point. So when I look at it from that standpoint, so when I ask a woman, would you rather be wanted or you'd rather be needed? And I'm kind of looking for that answer. And I'm going to ask why, because I want to make sure that we're along the lines and we're in the same, at least in the same arena of how we feel about this. And the reason why I say wanted is because of that. It is a choice. And I want to be able to choose a person every day. I want to choose my person every day, like regardless. And even if because I want to be empowered in my choice. So even if, you know what, she's pissing me off, but I don't want nobody else to piss me off but her. She's the only one I will allow to piss me off, and I'm choosing her. So I'm empowered in my choice. I love her, and that's the woman I choose to be with. But also understanding that, you know what, that it is it's important to know that you made that choice.
I agree. But if your significant other is pissing you off, the issue isn't with what's happening at the moment. There's an underlying issue that you need resolved. And, when things that's how resentment surfaces, right? It's rarely about the actual conversation. So,
Mm-hmm.
so there has to be maintenance on the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be maintenance on the relationship, because when you get to the point where you get pissed off, it's already too late. So you went through a series of emotions to get pissed off. Anger is not a primary emotion, secondary. So what was it within you that was triggered to get you pissed off? Because remember, I gave the example last week. If somebody pulled up to you and a man put the middle finger up,
Right.
we go after him. But if a 3-year-old put the middle finger up, you probably laugh.
I'm laughing like, what the hell's wrong with that little boy?
Same exact scenario, but you saw it through a different set of lenses each time. One had to do with you and a man testing your manhood, and you got to, right? What that was about you, but the 3-year-old doing it, that was not about you. Your manhood wasn't being tested or any of that. So we get to choose how we see the world, the type of lenses we see the world through. And I have to make a conscious decision to examine what's going on emotionally at the moment, because I got to make sure that, okay, let me see, maybe it's me, right? Well, why am I so bothered by that, right? And because I don't think I'd be with somebody that wants to hurt me on any level, right?
Right.
And I don't want to hurt them.
That's
So
not their intention, is
yeah,
to hurt you. They didn't wake up and say, I'm going to hurt Otis today. That's
yeah,
not their intention. You know that.
yeah. So it's you just gotta just talk, folks. Like, the problem is people can't have an honest conversation because there's fear of judgment. There's all, they don't feel safe enough to be able to do it. And it's the honest conversations that,
Make a difference.
well, that give longevity to the relationship. Otherwise, you two are just playing characters in this movie of life, right? Thinking that you can, reach or meet each other's expectations, and it doesn't work that way. That's why they say these relationships are work, man. You gotta put in the work. And when I used to hear that, I used to be like, well, why would I want to work at something that doesn't have a paycheck? It's not work in the traditional sense.
No.
Right? It doesn't feel like work because you've got to love the other person enough to be able to put them first. Anytime you blow up, anytime you get mad, anytime it's about you, you just made it about you. You've got to put them first. There are some people that I know, because I know they have a good heart. I know they have, and this is not even, this is um in my professional career when I was in corporate, because it's still a relationship that has to be managed, right? Professional relationships that have to be managed. And there would be somebody that I reported to. Sometimes they'd have an off day, and they maybe get a little sideways. But I know them outside of work, and I know they have a good heart. So I give them, I can give them a pass.
Yeah.
So why not look at your significant other the same way? I know they have a good heart. I know that I've put them through all types of stuff and they're still here. So I need to be able to give that person a pass and extend some grace, because I was extended grace when I didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So and so we have the ability to change our perspective at a given minute, any given minute, right?
Yeah.
And shout out to the state of California versus Otis James, the Department of Justice, for making me take those classes. It's coming out.
Oh, they paying off, man. You know what? They definitely is. That is a rehabilitation process that you have graduated from. I'm glad you got that certificate. Listen, no. So again, in this particular area, we're looking at the 5 keys, the top 5 keys to find a woman who's right for you. And number 1 is, we've been talking about stressing this again. So I'm glad that all these are kind of coming in together, right? Know yourself first. If you don't know what you want, you'll keep choosing wrong. Period.
Oh, wait. Before you go to the next one, you said something earlier. Was it gosh? Oh, did somebody said something like, "Is one woman good enough for a man?"
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a thought that I had with that.
All right.
I was watching this TV show. I think it was one of the Tyler Perry ones. He got about 1,200 TV shows, all with the same plot. Well, it was this one scene where the wife came home, the husband was home, the wife came home, she's always tired from work. So they agreed that she's gonna get him a little something on the side because sometimes she just ain't up to it. He was like, are you sure? She was like,
Well,
yeah, right. So that made me think like, okay, so if a woman wants to be a man's everything, they do know that men are perverts, right? Like I don't women do know that we're like if you're gonna be the everything, you really want to take that into consideration before making that jump, right? So, because look, this
I
is
know
not,
where you're going with this. I know where you're going with
I was
this.
not.
I know where you're going with this.
I think a lot of you guys would, a lot of you women would change your mind and be like, "Well, I don't want to be his everything." Like we can do anything. You want to be everything. That means we can do anything we want to you. I don't think you want. I don't think you
I
want.
don't know if you want
I think
that.
a lot of women think
You sure you want me by everything?
that.
My everything?
Okay, go ahead and sign here. We're gonna have this in order. Go ahead and sign there, initial there, and there.
Mhm.
Let's go.
No
Anyway,
judgment, right? No judgment. Okay, cool.
yeah, no judgment. And men are we're garbage.
All right, let's get back to the top five again. Top five keys to finding a woman who's right for you. All right, from a man's perspective, here we go. Know yourself first. If you don't know you, don't know what you want, you keep choosing wrong. Attract what you are. The right woman will reflect the energy you give off. Number three, set standards, but be realistic. No one is perfect. Prioritize what truly matters. Number four, lead with actions, not just words. Women respect men who stand on their values.
Is that
And
true?
Hmm?
Is that no? I was asking the ladies. Is that true?
Yeah, we're going to ask him here. Number five is build a partnership, not a transactional relationship. Find someone who complements your vision, not just checks your boxes. What's the biggest lesson you've learned about relationships so far?
And ladies, stop requesting to go out to dinner to places that you don't eat at yourself.
Oh, I won't go to Red Lobster.
You
Like,
gotta
who even go to who goes to Red Lobster nowadays? I'm like, I'm a little better than Red Lobster. Yeah.
yeah. If the smoke detector battery has not been changed in your apartment, do not request to go to State 48. The Ruth Chris. Okay.
I hate that damn sound. I'm sorry.
Go to the Sizzler. Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Sizzler. We going to Sizzler.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, those are five. I think those are pretty damn accurate. Again, I feel as though we've definitely rounded this off and came to this conclusion on these top five. This top five list here.
Yeah, it's all going to come back to the same thing. And you this was actually in the top five.
Yeah.
If you put time and energy into your personal development, the world around you will change. Everything else will fall into place. Right? You shouldn't be. What she say? I'm good with Burger King if he has seats. First of all, Burger King is delicious.
Delicious, right?
Look,
It's
it's delicious. All right.
frame below it. Was it flame broiled? Yep, there you go.
Flame broiled. You're right there. Now McDonald's, you probably got type 2 diabetes if you eat it. Like I can respect Burger King. It's a delicious burger, right? Some of y'all, getting way too pretentious for your income bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a.
Calm down, man. Calm down.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It's a lot of the stuff is transactional. That's what I see out there today. Like, but what window am I looking through? Well, it's TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram, and Facebook, right? Because I'm not leaving the house unless I'm going out, to work and do a conference or something like that. So, my view of the world may be a bit skewed based on the portal that I'm looking through.
Mm-hmm.
But look, man, I'm telling you, that's one thing that never fails. If you just get yourself together, you don't even have to say anything. You don't have to be doing all this, right? People will gravitate towards you. The right people will gravitate towards you. Now, some of the wrong people will gravitate towards you too, but
Yeah.
they shouldn't be in your presence for long. And if you entertain in certain things, then you're giving them permission to conduct themselves in a certain way. And I've seen some of the dudes that these women choose. I'm like, what lenses were you looking through?
What did you see? Oh, I just thought he was gonna make it. I remember when he was playing basketball, or I just thought he was gonna be he was gonna go to NFL. He didn't. And now what? Like he can't formulate two words, but okay, you got it.
Yeah, I know what it is. He's probably got a baby thigh under there. Probably
Got a baby arm.
baby arm under there. That's probably what you got hooked on. No way. I can see some of these dudes coming.
He always talks me out of this. I swear, every time. I change my mind every time. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Baby dolphin under there. That's
that you're reaching for shit that ain't there.
Do better, ladies.
No, man. No, this is a great discussion. I think that we're not far off from each other. I think that that's the biggest thing when it comes to this whole thing is like we're not far off. I just think that there's the reality and there's expectations of what you think should happen. Like that's the biggest thing is like it's about what women say to what you should do. Don't tell me what I should do and how I should be. Like this is the kind of like the whole purpose of like to me if you love somebody, it's about accepting. Right? It's about accepting who they are and understanding like that, their limitations. There's certain people like real simple. And this guy said it the best. And I think I sent this to you. He talked about this. He says, so would you have your doctor, would you have your mechanic give you a pap smear as a woman? This is a man asking a woman, would you have your mechanic give you a pap smear? He said, or would you have your doctor change your oil? Right. Or rotate your tires. Like those are things like that's not what they do. So then why are you having conversations with single women about how to have a man? Or why are you having conversations with women that never been wives on how to be a wife?
So, and also we're talking about, it's what type of relationships are we talking about? Husband and wife is different than boyfriend and girlfriend.
Well, just someone being in a healthy relationship. Why are we having conversations with people that aren't in healthy relationships? And it's okay to kind of step outside that boundary of like, literally, you don't always have to go to your friends for all the stuff that you're going through because they may not truly understand, or they're going to give you their perspective. Yeah. Sometimes you got to find somebody or find somebody else or again, if you want something for yourself, you need to find out who's doing it good, who's doing it well, who's going through it, because understand this, you're looking out from a lens of completion when you're watching social media. Like, okay, you see all these great, we talked about it last week. We talked about, you see these great relationships. You think they're great relationships, but you don't know what they went through to get to that point. Sure. I guarantee you they went through some shit and you probably wouldn't even last if going through what they went through. Or you were this close to getting to that point, but you gave up. Right? It's always that, but you don't know the story. So I feel like that's the biggest problem is that we want the ending, but we're not willing to go through all the other chapters to get to that point. We want the book for the cover and I want to know what it looks like at the end. We're not willing to go through the whole book to figure it all out. And I feel like that's that's the part you're missing.
You see how chill I am right now?
Chill.
Yeah, straight chill. That's
cold chill.
That's that pre-50 chill. Like it's all good, young brother.
Hey, man, it's gonna be all right, jive turkey. Right.
Hey, we get to a certain point where this is a lot of stuff that we ain't supposed to care about, right?
Right.
And I think that's what you mentioned is really, really big because a lot of the younger women, I think they go to other women and yet they don't even like each other. Like y'all going, y'all don't even like each other. And
right.
that's so interesting to me, man. Like again, you will get to a point, not you, Donovan, but I'm talking about you in general, will get to a point where you will reach a certain level of wisdom or a certain level in your personal development where you just feel like you're above certain conversations.
Absolutely.
Until you get to that point, you will be subject to the biases and beliefs and agendas to everybody around you that you seek advice from, whether they're successful at doing that thing or not.
And you're going to have people that are going to pull you into bullshit. And I call it fuckery, right? People are going to try to pull you into stuff and you're going to have to make a choice and make a stand and say, you know what? I'm just not going there. And it's okay. Like, you want to argue? I'm good. I don't want to argue. Hey, I'm not hanging up on you. I'm just not having this conversation. It's not somewhere I want to go.
But that person felt at some point comfortable enough to argue with you. And that's what I'm talking about. Like you feel comfortable enough to conduct yourself that way around me. That's not your fault. That's my fault.
Right. Because I let you think that was okay. Right.
I'll let you think that was okay. So it's all good. I don't have to tell you not to call me anymore. I don't have to tell you I'm not calling you anymore. I don't have to say
I just don't call you anymore. Period. I just won't.
Just take the number out of my phone. I couldn't call you if I wanted to.
I won't. I ain't got to block you. I ain't got to listen. I'm an Aquarius. I will just ignore it. I will ignore that you exist. I'm sorry.
That is peace.
That is my peace. I will ignore that you exist.
That is peace. Yeah. I had people reach out to me like, well, you probably mad because I stopped calling you.
No.
I didn't even noticed you called. I didn't notice anything. I thought you was just calling to say hi after
Hey, what's going on? Haven't talked to you in a while. How's everything going?
See, that's why I blocked you. I didn't.
Okay.
Shoot, I would have never known I was blocked because I have not tried to reach out to you. That's the type of the world we need to be in, man. Like it just relax and chill out. Like you can't control other people. I already see the world crumbling around me. I'm not getting into these conversations.
Absolutely, man. It's just there, like you said, there are certain conversations I just will not partake in at all. Can't anymore.
Here's some advice. Be nice.
Yep. Be kind, as they say. Be kind.
Be kind to everyone.
Yep.
Regardless of their status. How about this? Treat people with dignity and respect.
Absolutely.
How about understand that you may not always be treated with dignity and respect? Be bigger than that and move on and leave those folks to their own devices. How about we start there? Because I think there's not enough of that. All right.
Yep.
How about you want others what you want others to do unto you? Let's take it all the way back to the fundamentals.
Basics. That was like literally life 101, right? Yeah. But it just understands, it just goes back to the beginning, like you said, those are the basics. It is truly controlling what you can't control. And that is understanding that you cannot control what happens to you.
Yeah.
You control how you react to it.
Right.
You cannot always control what happens to you. You can literally step outside, get in your car and get into a little fender bender and get pissed. But you may not control how that accident may have happened. Someone may hit you, but you control how you react to that accident.
Unless you have insurance.
You got insurance. As long as you got insurance. So Adonis got into a little fender bender in the parking lot earlier this week, and he called me. He was like, he told me, Dad, this is what's going on. And I told him, I was like, hey man, just take pictures of everything. Just you good. First of all, are you okay? You okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, cool. A little nervous, everything. What happened? No problem. I said, it'll pass. Just relax. Just breathe. Just take pictures of the accident. Take pictures of his driver's license. Take pictures of the car, right? And exchange insurance information. And we'll have a conversation later. And based off of like how their cars hit, like it was literally both driver's side bumpers were hit. So they looked like they just literally backed into each other. Didn't pay. The boy he hit was 20, or the boy that he collided with was 25. Adonis is 20, right? So that neither one of these fools were paying attention. They're probably on their phones or whatever it was, and they just hit each other. And when they hit each other, it's like, okay, now it's like who's at fault? And I'm like, so I call the boy and I say, hey man, be honest with you, based off of what I see, you guys are both probably at fault in this one. Or the insurance companies aren't going to basically determine who's at fault because of where you guys are both hit. Yeah. You guys are both hit on both driver's sides, so you have to look at it from this perspective. You call
the other guy?
Yeah. I talked to him. I told him, I was like, your best bet is to fix this yourself, sir.
You didn't talk to his parents?
He's 25. It was the insurance in his name. He was fine. He was all right. Yeah, he's grown. He got an adult.
How'd you resolve it? How'd you guys resolve it?
He's gonna fix it himself. Same thing. Adonis is gonna fix it himself too. There's no point because they're both at that age where if they report this, their insurance is gonna go up.
Did they? Was he like, hey, ain't you that dude from that TV show?
Really? That's what we're doing? You motherfucker! I swear.
Ain't no love here.
Oh my God, that's funny you say that. And I just saw that Carmen had tapped in on this on IG over here at one point. So
Carmen did? Oh, did she? Oh, you?
Yeah. I wonder if somebody triggered her and told her that something was brought up about it. So that's just too much. I swear.
You look stressed.
I'm not stressing. We cool. Like I said, we cool. We ain't no ill wills going on over here. We chill. All right. So this is our to-go box section. This is something you can take to go with you guys. Fellas, looks fade, but character lasts. Find a woman who aligns with your future, not your fantasies. I think that's a very, very important part, is understand that yes, we all want these. We want.
Don't nobody want Camry.
Yes, we would love a flying trapeze artist, but
if you catch her.
Breakfast. I don't know. Maybe if you got one, that's great. But listen, I'm aligning somebody who is literally with my future, and and that's the most important thing for me. I'm not worried about that other stuff, man. So if she looks good, she looks good. If she don't, she don't. That's fine. This for me. As long as she looks good to me, that's all I care about.
Not fine. I am not on board with that. If she looks good, she's good.
No, if she looks good to me, that's all that matters. As long as she looks good to me, I don't give a damn what you think. I don't give a damn what nobody else thinks. It's what she looks good to me, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I don't care. Like, because I feel there are a lot of men who have successful, great relationships with women that other people deem as like, oh, that's not on a level that they would think would be with that person. I'm like, but they do probably have a banging body, and they probably got a baby hand underneath there. They probably jiggle. Let me stop. All right.
Who? I want that guy. Who's that guy?
I'm just saying there are men out there that's not what why they chose that person. That person been there for them, and helped them through those situations, and that's who they love. So you can't choose who you love. I mean, you can choose them, but you can't choose how much you love that person.
Well, I think in a lot of those relationships because when people get together, they're not always going to look the same. So they may not look the same as they did when they got together, but now you've grown to love each other for things that are not superficial. And then when the looks change, you're already locked in, right? You've already, but getting to that point, I think is,
I always say, man, gravity takes over. So gravity is undefeated.
Oh, right. Well, also, if you open up the pantry and ain't nothing but Doritos and knickknacks and all types of that stuff, that can help, right? Go walk around the block.
You should always get those. I think Doritos are good for your pantry.
Yeah, well, your edibles is weed legal where you're at?
Not for me. No, I'm a government employee, so I cannot partake in those things, sir.
Oh, right on.
That's what we're doing.
Oh, right. We're talking in code. I don't either.
Oh, guess I'm going in on Monday taking this test. Yeah. I'll pass.
I'm a sniper for the CIA, so I don't partake. Cool. But it's good. What was that dessert? Did we already offer up dessert?
Yeah, we're at the go box right now. I think your section is here. We'll scroll down. You want to scroll down to yours?
I heard
what's that? Any takeaways?
Yeah, just be nice to people.
That's it.
That's it. Just be nice to everybody, and you'll be good. Trash people when you're around them. Stop hanging around trash people and letting them influence you. Protect your
yeah, gravity, something else. I'm sorry, I just saw that. Oh man.
All right. I think me and the old lady gonna go out and go do something.
Good, man. What y'all gonna go do, man?
I don't know, man. I usually have her stand watch while I go and grab as much meat as I can out of the grocery store and sprint out.
Pause.
We take turns.
Pause. You gotta say pause when you say you go grab as much meat as you can, bro.
I grab 10 packs of ground beef.
Going over there. Listen, if that's a relationship that you want, you go ahead and you have that relationship, man. She watching you grab meat. Lord have mercy.
Out the grocery store. Somebody got the damn watch.
Okay, maybe you like butchers. I don't know what your type is, man.
It didn't work out last time because she got caught and I didn't. So she got locked up for a couple of days.
Oh man.
God. It's all good.
Well, listen, I'll go ahead and say this. Ladies, if you were listening, I know you're out there. Men don't always say what they need, but peace, respect, and trust are good. Go further than anything. Just remember that. All right.
Realize I shouldn't have my logo on this episode.
Fine. It's it's one of our sponsors, by the way.
There you go.
One of our sponsors, by the way. Yeah.
That's a
sponsor. And to our sponsor, the 4 Data Points Academy. Thank you for hawking out the money for our StreamYard account. I got our website coming up, so we're good there. So listen, follow us on IG at we're the Full Menu Podcast. Follow us on YouTube at the Full Menu Podcast. You can follow us, obviously Otis and I here on Facebook, and we also have our Facebook page, the Full Menu Podcast. and Twitch at Full Menu Podcast. So please,
Twitch. You got Twitch.
we got a Twitch, man. We definitely got to get on there because we can monetize on there. So I want to get that up and going.
What is Twitch? What is Twitch?
It's like a TV, like it's another version of like people do. It's like a YouTube kind of sort of.
Is that where all them kids be playing the games?
Yeah, they play their games, but like they have a lot of different. Everything has an algorithm. Did you know that there's over 40 on TikTok? TikTok has over 40.
Over 40 what?
Over 40 TikTok.
There's a separate TikTok.
It's an algorithm. Yes, you pick up the algorithm and you see nothing but over 40 stuff.
Oh, we need to do that, man, because I don't like it.
Yeah, we can start going live and just start doing stuff over there and just start talking that way. And we can probably just tap in somehow. We'll figure it out.
Kids are not putting out any good content nowadays.
Absolutely not. They are just weird. They just be watching each other and then liking, sending each other hearts and things. It's weird. But anyway, now we're getting old. I can tell we're getting old here. So next week's, let's see, do men and women want the same thing in love? Ooh, this is a pretty good one. So our next week's topic is going to be, do men and women want the same thing in love? Or are we speaking different languages?
No, we do. We do want the same thing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we want the same thing. Yeah, we want the same thing. We want to be in love. We want to be loved just like everybody else. Did I just ruin the whole next show? Is that? Did we just sum it up?
Maybe not. We'll figure it out. You know how we do. We always be in the middle of the week, like, this is what we say we're gonna do, and then we were like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Nah, let's do something else. All right, cool. We send another topic, and we'll figure it all out. So
we need to have some women come up here too.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're gonna let some folks.
Just not. You're not allowed to choose the ones that come.
Want to try right now? You want to try right now? Hold on a second.
We can. Anybody want to come up?
Hold on.
Conversation with us.
Look, I'm gonna put it in the chat here. There's the link in the chat.
Oh God.
On Instagram. Well, we got a couple minutes. We ain't got no time. We ain't got no time.
We ain't no time. If y'all want to come up here and talk, y'all gotta be ready to put your camera on.
I'm gonna put the link and I don't know where this is gonna be posted to, but I'm gonna
put it on. It'll be on Facebook.
There you go. There you go. There's the link.
And then we'll delete it later.
There's the link. Y'all want to come up here and have a conversation? This is where it
should be fun. Or you can go. Well, I think you can. Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it.
Just click the link. Y'all show up in here.
Come on. We'll see you.
I'll tell you what, they're not gonna take their camera off though.
I bet you they're not gonna come on with a camera with their camera on.
But I do like
we probably should have dropped that link earlier and see if we had anybody come in, see if they want to come in later and then bring them up.
Not because they be getting real mad and I'll be like sitting like real cool, like
you're ready to cuss us out.
They be just so triggered.
You know what you had said about what you had said? It really made me mad.
Be like, man, all you got to just relax a little bit. Just that's half the conversation is this. Just relax. Okay, let me speak.
Don't you know not to ever tell a woman to relax, man? Have you not learned that part?
Yeah, I do. I got a chokehold for that. Relax.
Go sleep.
Let it happen. Let it happen. Let it happen. That's it.
We do not condone any of these things. It's like the Full Menu Podcast does not condone any of the violent activities that Otis James is participating in.
That's how we play in my household. Like, you ever flirt with how you flirt with your woman? I'll be like, she'll be in the kitchen. I'll just go up, grab her neck, and be like, no one's gonna believe you. Give her on the cheek. No one's gonna believe you. She start laughing. Where does that come from?
That's just fun, man. It's just I think that is just you just know that it's just funny to have fun like that, man. That's good. That's good stuff.
Changing her name, I'll be like, hey, Esmeralda, you've been doing a good job, but unless you want to be deported, come meet me in my office in 5 minutes. I just make
bring your notepads and your pen so you can take some dictation. Right. Oh man, we are fools. But this is why we do what we do. I'm loving it. I think they scared to come up, so it's all good. We'll give them 5 more minutes if they can. I mean, we can definitely.
Yeah, we can give them a couple minutes. We ain't got nothing to do. It's Saturday.
Saturday. I got shit to do. I got to post this damn property.
You got to what property you posted? List the property.
What's that?
You got to list the property.
No, I got the listing already. I got it. Well, yeah, it's already listed. It's coming soon. I got to go in and put everything else in there. So,
how much money are you making off that? What's the purchase price? What's the list price?
$795.
$7.95. This is how chicks be doing. Oh, where's
3%.
3%. Okay, all right. $7.95 times 0.03. Oh, about $24,000. Oh, okay. Like, hey, shout out. Hey, if you guys want to reach Donovan, he got a check for $24,000 coming in the next.
Watch it. Hey, look, don't count my money over here, man.
Do you work with buyers?
Yeah, I work with buyers too.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I don't like driving people around in my car.
I don't like. Well, I don't buy no. Hey, you meet me there. I'll meet you there.
You got a nice car too.
Huh?
You got a nice car too. It's real roomy.
Well, it's spacious. It's my spaceship. Yeah, I'm not driving nobody around. We ain't doing that.
How are you dealing with the commission thing now? You know, the commission arrangements.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, there's still ways to do stuff like that. I mean, you have conversations with your seller, and usually they'll have a buyer broker's agreement. If I'm representing the buyer, there's usually already one in place. To me, it's just really being more transparent, right? You should have already been that way. If you were already practicing that way, nothing have changed. Not much has changed. It's just the documentation of what you are giving them now changes. How you're giving it to them is changing. So
shout out. What's up, Remy? We see you down there, brother. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. On a Saturday too, huh?
Yeah. I ain't doing that though. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna take my daughter to a party today. So
you're not going to church?
Church is where I am, sir.
You said
I am the church. The body is a church. The Lord knows my heart.
Oh man, hey Remy, yeah, you could pull up. You could pull up. There you go. You can pull. That's my Instagram.
Oh, okay.
That's my Instagram. But all right, I guess ladies ain't gonna come up and voice their opinion.
Here, let me take the link and I'll put it in my Instagram too.
Oh, you didn't put it in yours?
But you know me, I don't. Yeah,
who's gonna show up from your Instagram?
That's the thing is like somebody might actually pop up on this joint.
I'm trying to see Carmen.
Oh God, here you go. I swear I can't stand your ass sometimes.
That's called dry snitching, huh?
Yeah. If you want to come on, please click the link.
We can't talk and type. That's how you know we.
That's how you know we old.
I even got quiet.
Right.
He's typing.
He's concentrating. This is concentration.
Chill.
Ain't nobody coming up. They scurry.
I
got 2 people in mind on mine over here. I had it up to like 10. Like now,
I've got 30.
Okay, look at you, pimp.
Yeah, I got 5.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to make yourself
7 people all together.
And then we got over here on Facebook. We had up to, I think we had 10.
And then we had it's 7 of them were dudes.
I mean, it's our topic, so we're good.
Yeah, we're just looking for dudes to
What time do you do a weekly podcast? We don't do a weekly podcast, Ray, man. This is when you catch us on Saturdays, man. We too busy during the week.
Well, I think he meant weekly every week. So Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So Saturdays at 1.
He said we don't do weeklies, we just do it every Saturday.
Yeah, we do weekday. We do weekdays. I mean, we do weekends, not weekdays.
Right on, man. All right. I can't back up from here until we turn this off because I'm in my pajama pants. I was doing the real estate podcast week, and I left the thing on because I had TikTok, I had Facebook, I had everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I turned off some of them, and I was like, "All right, cool." And I walked out, but that thing was left on for like 40 minutes. Like just walking around my office. Somebody texted me.
My first time.
Somebody texted me. They was like, "So you're not gonna put no lotion on your feet when you walk out? You're not gonna put no."
You walk around kicking the dog. You get your ass out the office. What the hell? What you want? Nah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So shout out to the people that called me on that. I had to go and take it off everything and edit it and put it back up.
That's funny as hell. That is funny as hell. No, man. Yeah, coming soon. We're going to get our Spotify and our Apple. We're going to be putting these up in those links as well. So we're going to look out for that. We'll definitely let you know. We'll also have the full menu podcast, the what is it called? The website. So everything will be there.
DC.
Hmm?
I'm coming to DC.
Hey, that's right. When you coming to DC? Let's talk about it.
July 26th.
Shit, you know how far that is from now? Yeah. Like, let's talk about that shit like in May. I mean, it's March.
Live, like it's not. There will be a July 25th.
Yeah, it will be a July. It's coming. So he'll be here July 25th. All my people in DC, Maryland, Virginia area, please pull up on us.
We got a virtual workshop on next week.
Okay.
Yeah. 22.
Let's talk about it.
I think that was it. That's the gist of it, man. It's a virtual workshop.
What are they expected to learn in this workshop here, Otis?
We're going to teach them how to assess a deal.
What type of deal?
Points. A real estate deal.
Okay. I mean,
a music royalty contract deal, the NBA contract.
An escort deal. How to navigate an escort deal and not pay any money. Okay, how we do that? Tell me, please.
Back page. Hashtag massage parlors with the heavy tent.
Oh man, the Asian massage parlors. Lord have mercy.
The ones that are off in the corner with the all black tent.
I do for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
It's a spa. That's
take a black man.
All right, let's turn this off before we get in trouble.
Yeah, let's stop. All right, thank you guys for tuning into the Full Million Podcast. We are Otis James and Donovan Gaspard. Well, I am Donovan Gaspard. He's Otis James. And we are signing off. Thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to talking to you guys next time. Take care.
Productive.